Irritating.
Okay, I wanted to start with the introduction, but since you've done that, we'll get right to it. So this is Stacy, right? From what you told us, you started diving when at the age of 20 because after watching all the documentaries,
Yes.
as a young girl,
Yeah.
watching documentaries, that's when you decided to pick up diving.
Yes.
I know a lot of young girls or older women who watch documentaries their whole life and still do not want to dive. So, what was it about these documentaries that got you hooked?
It's actually all the silence, beauty of everything in the water. So every time when I watch that documentary, BBC, and you know how David Attenborough narrates about how the fishes go, and every time when you see in the TV, and one day I decided to go into the water, and actually I tried DSD, so I saw like, oh, BBC actually come alive in front of my eyes. So from then onwards, I feel like I should go for diving. Yeah.
Okay, and then so that's diving. But what about photography?
Photography is, I think one day I borrow my friend's camera. I said, hey, can you just borrow me for a while? I want to try to take pictures. I want to try to get a special moment by all these animals underwater. So I tried lah. And one day I feel like you feel the achievement when you get a nice picture. So from then onwards, you try to buy all the lights, when you take pictures, you need a lot of accessories to get a nice picture. And I feel like it's very priceless to get all the special angle and movement from the animals where you wait for 45 minutes just for one picture. So I feel the achievement is there, and I feel priceless too.
Okay, so for you, it's because of documentaries, right? She's not here. For Shireen, it was a different story. She picked up diving many, many years ago, but she wasn't hooked.
No, I wasn't hooked.
And so you started diving in 2001, and you only would do a few dives on your trips, correct? Beach
No,
trips.
Actually, 2001 was when I did my first open water, and I did 10 dives, and that was it. Then I had my kids, and I kind of took a back seat for a lot of years. So when I left banking about 5 years ago, I decided that, yeah, why not? I've got lots of time now, so let's go back into the sea and see what's there. And at that point in time, I was thinking like, okay, I've not dived for a very long time, and my buoyancy is just probably going to be all over the place. So I decided that, okay, fine, let's give it a try. So since then, I've been hooked, going on one trip after another.
And that's when you started diving. But what about photography? How did you get into that?
Different story. Well, my first camera was actually a TG4. I had a friend who is based out in Anilao, and he told me, why don't you just come over and come and see what's here, and we have a lot.
Is the friend Tim?
Yes, my friend Tim. And it was all macro photography, and at that point in time, I had no idea what he was talking about. So when I got there, he showed me, the first thing that he showed me was a goby on a whipped coral, and I was thinking to myself, why in heaven's name are you showing me a tiny little fish for? I'm new into diving, and something so small? And I said, yeah, okay, next. Then he showed me a nudie, and I'm like, I can't even see it, So that was the very first trip, and I told him, I said, I want to see big fish. Then we went to Lembe after that, and that's when I really understood how colorful and how different life underwater is from topside. So when I used to shoot topside, the colors are very different, and underwater the colors are even more vivid. And at that point in time, my kids were asking me, why do you go diving so often? And I said that, because it's really different. And taking pictures of nudies, different critters that you can't even imagine existed, right? So I wanted to show them that, you could see all these things underwater.
Okay, good answer. And now we move on to our friend Cheryl. This is an amazing photo, by the way, yeah?
Yeah, taken by Eric, so it tends to be good.
So I know for you, you fell in love with diving because you went to Sipadan, correct?
Yeah, I think
What
when I
happened?
was 14, my dad, and I don't really, when I was 14, my dad said, let's go on a holiday. And that holiday was in Sipadan, where you can still stay on the island. So it's really magical because, and I was just a snorkeler, and it was just amazing. It was just like you can see so much sharks, turtles, and I really fell in love. And I remember during that trip, there were divers. And I was like, wait a minute, they can definitely see more than what I can see. And that has always made me want to take up diving. And it took a while because, like financials and all of that. But in the end, I did it because I still remember there was a 700 ringgit Groupon offer to learn how to do your open water. And so I did that in 2011. So I have to thank Groupon, which probably doesn't exist today, for, getting me into diving. And I started doing photography because after every dive, I get really excited about, animals. And I tell people like, hey, I saw this thing, this fish. What's the name of the fish? And they're like, describe it. I'm like, it's got fins and some stripes and it's blue and yellow and it's about this big. And I was like, yeah, this is not working. So I got a camera primarily to help me identify what I see so that I can put it in my logbook. But yeah, but at 1,000 over dives, you don't log anymore. But yeah, that's why I did it. Just to help me accurately ID what I saw.
But now you don't take photos because of IDing critters anymore, right?
Yeah, I think I don't. It's more for sort of. So I tell people what I really like about underwater photography. It's number one, to be a good underwater photographer, you need hard skills, which is you need to be an awesome diver. Your buoyancy needs to be like on point. And then number two, you need a bit of luck. You need that nudibranch to eat another nudibranch, or that whale to harass some other thing, and then you have a magical photo, right? So I always tell people it's a bit like the perfect photo is a bit like life. You need hard skills, you need to be ready, but also you need a bit of luck. So that's why I love it.
All right, thanks. And now we'll go back to Professor Nur Hayati. I know for you, it's also similar to Cheryl. Your story started in Sipadan. You went to Sipadan to photograph birds as a non-diver,
Yes.
correct?
Yes. It was actually for a project by the Sabah Parks, and I was supposed to sample birds on Sipadan Island. So we stayed at the water village, I think. But I stayed overnight just to check for the birds for 24 hours. But while waiting for my boat to pick me up, there wasn't much to do, and luckily for me, there was this a guide who offered to show me around because I was just loitering around the area, and gladly I took up his offer, and that was actually the first time I saw what was underneath Sipadan, and I still remember that it was so colorful. I've never seen anything quite colorful before. So that was when it triggered me. It triggered me to really look more closely underwater. So that was the trigger.
And what about photography? How did you get into that?
Before that, I was already taking lots of nature photos on land. But after my open water license, I think it was in 2006, I was in Sipadan in 2003. So it wasn't like immediately. It wasn't an immediate venture. I guess I delayed because of busy schedule in the university. But once I got my license, I wasn't very comfortable in the water. So it took me quite some time to really improve my buoyancy, and only after I got my first underwater camera, which is just a compact camera, and I actually flooded it twice, and it was actually a big decision to upgrade to a DSLR camera. So it wasn't until maybe after I got my advanced license, then only I considered seriously into photography. That's all. Thank you.
And that's a big setup you got there. Nice one too. Okay, so when you look at people coming to MIDE, you see people checking out cameras, buying photography equipment. You know, some of them are interested to start, and of course, most of them start with small cameras. Do you notice that as women photographers, do you face extra challenges when you are going on a dive trip compared to a man? Do you see that there are any differences? Shireen?
Well, on the dive trips that I've been so far, I guess everybody is treated equally. So if you take a really bad shot, you get equally scolded. So it doesn't really matter if you have a big setup or a small setup. Ideally, as long as you enjoy the art and you have the passion for it, I don't see a big difference, although some bigger setups are a bit hard to carry, you know.
Yeah, I'd say very similar. I think the biggest issue for me is the setup. So the bigger it is, which is kind of like ours, right? We really I've really limited like shore dives or diving when it's not full service, because bringing a camera in, trying to navigate, say, the Tulamben waves is just not what I really want to do. But yeah, so I think that's the main thing. And in fact, I think it applies for all forms of photography. Like I also started doing a bit more land. And the camera setup you see among like female birders and male birders, the size is the bigger difference. But otherwise, yeah, pretty much the same.
So, male or female underwater photographer, same challenges, yeah? No differences.
You just challenge yourself. You know, so that's the biggest challenge there is.
So, what would you say to some females out there who they want to get into photography, but they think it's too difficult, like, oh, it's a man's hobby? Have you met, if they were to think that, what would you say to them? Stacy?
I don't think there's this kind of problem exists now, because it's all about whether you want to do it or not. If you feel hard but you want to try it, then come on, let's try. I borrow you, I go with you, and I guide you. So if you feel like you get the hang of it, then you start investing in the camera. So other than that, I don't think we have this man or woman problem though.
Yeah, I mean, I've always believed it's a genderless sport.
Yes, yes.
And I just wanted to get your opinion on it. So I guess we all agree,
Yeah.
right? Underwater photography, diving, it's tech diving, is it the same?
Actually, we carry much heavier stuff down in the water. So I think the airlines company earns a lot of our money by us buying a lot of baggage. So we always max out our baggage limit, and we bring CCR, all the regulators, like 2-3 regulators, sometimes even 5 regulators per person, to Tulamben, like she mentioned, a very good place to do tech diving. And the deeper you go, the more things you can see. For example, nudie, where people take, so this small is a nail size of nudie, where you get around 20 meters. And it will be a cigarette box size when it goes down to more than 70 meters.
70 meters.
Yes. So different nudie, very nice. I like it. It's very nice. It's very rich down there. The deeper you go, the richer it is. Maybe you all should try one day.
We're waiting for the promo code.
Yeah, maybe there's something to look into next, girls. Yeah. All right. I got the privilege of seeing some of the photos that you ladies shot, and some of them just intrigued me. Cheryl, this is you photographing a tiger shark in the Maldives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, okay, so obviously there's perspective, right? So this picture was taken by Rosalie, one of our friends. And yeah, actually there's a video of this, and the picture that I ended up taking was a bit blur because the shark knocked into my dome pot and his nose was slightly flat. So you can really see, I should have put a picture here, but it's a semi-blur photo and you can see the shark squished against my dome pot. There's also a video of this moment where both of us look as shocked as the, we were both very shocked. And I think what happened here was I wasn't, this is my fault actually. This moment happened because I kind of wasn't following the rules. I am not supposed to be up there. I'm supposed to be down where everybody is. But then I kind of like lost track of where I am in the water and was above the shark. So when the shark looked up, he was like, whoa, who is this? Yeah, but super fun. And I think this is one of those moments where a lot of people fear tiger sharks. And I think it's not to say you shouldn't fear them. There are many situations in which you can have very safe and positive interactions with them. So yeah.
It's a good one. Well, like I always say, there's fear and then there's respect, right?
Yeah.
You respect the sharks, you'll be fine. And this one, I was here with you in Alor for this shot.
Yeah, I love this shot because it was very natural. So this guy was really hunting fish. He was using goggles that are traditionally made. He's got fish in his mouth, so once he shoot them, he didn't have a net, so he stuffed it in his mouth. And he looked a bit surprised, I think, to see us. So yeah, I mean, I love it because it's very natural. The water was beautifully clear, and it was such a great moment. And I remember we skipped diving to try and get a day or a few hours with the locals as they fish. So yeah, this is great memory.
Definitely a day worth skipping the dives, yeah? This one.
This was in Romblon, probably one of my favorite macro dive places because the nudies are very unique. So this guy's fully transparent, and one of the I don't really like too much complication when I shoot pictures, but this was one I think that we did with a bit of a snoot, which is rare. And in Romblon, it's not like Lembeh where you have a dedicated guide, so you need to really manage the snoot yourself and take his picture. Yeah, I mean, I like it. It's very simple, not overly complex, and I think the main thing is the subject, and a highly recommended dive destination. Lots of unique nudies, and I think what I really love about it is such a great macro destination, you get good macro, but also wide angle, and the water is super clean. Not like many other places when you do monk diving.
So FYI, guys, this is not an easy subject to shoot. So Cheryl definitely nailed this very difficult subject. Good job. And Shireen, why is this your favorite shot? That is Andy Lua, yeah?
Yeah, that's Andy. Well, most of the trips that I go on, I really enjoy shooting my friends, including the bunch that's sitting in front as well. I like this simply because it captures Andy's very cheeky personality, because Andy's just a joy topside, and he makes a really good model. I tried shooting this a few times because this is summer rec, and I just got my DSLR last year, and I was trying to shoot wide, and it took me a while to figure out how to actually light up the whole rec. So with Andy there, he made my life a little bit easier. I've got a subject in the middle. Yeah, so I do enjoy taking pictures of my friends when we go diving.
Then I say your friends are very lucky. If anyone wants photos, dive with Shireen. And this is very interesting.
Yeah, well, Staghorn coral. Well, Langkayan, when I was there last year, everybody was telling me, okay, Shireen, this is a place for macro. And I'm like, okay, and my eyesight's not getting any good. So you guys take macro, I will just look for something. Yeah, so this I really enjoyed taking simply because I think it was near Easter and reminded me of the crown of thorns. So, this is a little bit, I like simple things, simple subjects, just one, just to showcase that even a simple coral, you can also make it look really stunning.
Yeah, I think most people would just swim by this without even giving it a second thought. This is a really good shot.
Thank
Done.
you.
Yeah, Prof.
Yes, I like this shot a lot because this I want to say that I took this shot with my compact camera before I started with this DSLR. I just want to relay that you can also take. To me, this is my best photo using
It's a
my
good
best
photo.
macro photo using a compact camera. So I just want to say that you can do your best with whatever you have. So it doesn't have to be, the bigger ones are quite expensive also. So for starters, you can just use a compact camera with the inbuilt flash. So this is what I got.
You took this using internal flash.
Yes.
Wow,
So,
that's impressive. Good job.
But I gotta say that it's probably a lot more on my luck. I would say I'm lucky at this.
I think talent too, right? And this one?
Yeah, I always use this photo a lot whenever I do my class for my students because I just want to say this is actually a mangrove near coral reef. So I always say that these two ecosystems are our frontliners to our coastal protection, and also our heavy dependence on fisheries also depends on these two ecosystems. So without these two different types of ecosystems, we wouldn't do very well in terms of fisheries and also in our coastal protection. I would say during the tsunami 2004, we did fairly okay because we still had a lot of mangroves in our shores.
So where was this taken?
This was in Wagyu, Raja Ampat.
Okay,
I
thought
was with Imran Ahmad.
No, I thought Malaysia, no, Raja
No,
Ampat.
Malaysia, I think Malaysia, we don't have this kind of interface. Maybe at Sampurna, there are some mangroves with a coral interface. I haven't photographed any of that.
But there are crocodiles there. Stacy, turtle shot.
Yeah. So this was a accident shot. I always use action camera like GoPro or Sony Action Cam. Just randomly grab any pictures. Because I'm teaching, so I'm not supposed to hold a camera. So but I always hang one. And so happened, I wanted to navigate myself because I forgot to take my dive computer down. So I don't have my compass with me. So I'm like, oh, okay, so where am I now? I just look up. I saw, oh, wow, there's a turtle breathing up there. So I quickly take out my camera and just take a quick shot. And it turns out like this. I wanted to angle myself so that the turtle is in middle of that ray. But still, I mean, okay lah. Not so bad. Not so bad for a very quick shot. Yeah.
Good shot. If you were to move any more, you probably would have missed it completely.
Yeah, because he was breathing up there for quite a while. Like I think 5 minutes. So I have like 5 minutes to angle myself properly.
So where was this taken?
Tioman. Yeah, Tioman Island.
I like the color.
This is actually a very nice purple coral, anemone corals, I think. So we got this shrimp. I took this in Philippines. I took it in Anilao. So everyone has this big camera with nice lens. I realized all three of
Like
you have
them,
it. Yeah. So I have my action cam also. So I have this macro lens. So maybe I can just try with my small camera. So I quietly go to a side and say, hey, this very nice, vibrant purple color. And there's a shrimp up there. I'm like, oh, okay. So he's moving, wiggling his butt up there, not flying around. So I stay still and I got this shot. Yeah. Then I got it shot with my small, tiny camera. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good shot. And also the color. It's just.
Yeah.
So you see, it shows it doesn't matter. You don't need a big camera. If you pay attention, big or small, yeah, you take your time, you can get the shot.
Just take your time. Just be there 45 minutes. If it needs 45 minutes, just stay there.
So if there's anybody who wants to start photography, a diver who wants to start, whether they're a new diver or have been diving for 10, 15 years, but they're afraid to take that first step, what would you say to them?
Just go for it. Just do more shore dive. Stay down there. Take a very common fish, like she mentioned just now, the blenny or goby on a whip.
Goby on the whip coral.
Yes, it might look normal to many people, but it's like it's a very precious thing for us. You just stay there, take it. Just take your time to take this picture. You will end up very nice. So maybe you should just do it. Don't have to think so much. I mean, maybe they are afraid of financial but other than that, I think nothing to be afraid of. Just take a camera and go into the water. That's it.
But do you think it's a very expensive hobby, underwater photography?
I mean, okay, so I think maybe just to answer your first question, I think I would always, if someone asked me they want to do it, I would ask them, is their diving, are they comfortable completely underwater? Because if they're not, maybe not the right time. And actually the second thing I usually ask them is I try to figure out what kind of photographer they are. And everybody's a photographer today because you have a camera phone at the bare minimum, right? So some people are selfie, they want to take picture of themselves. So if you don't have a mini dome of some sort, that's going to be a bit challenging on a smaller camera. So I also try to figure out what kind of photographer they are, right? So like, for example, Professor, you said that you take pictures of stuff on land. I think it's a very clear indication that high chance to end up underwater DSLR photographer. So I try to figure all of that out, and then, obviously then it's a question of budget, right? And I think when it comes to budget, I have never bought a underwater camera brand new before. And actually my first camera, I got it on Laoyat, and I got this Olympus, the camera as well as the housing for a really good deal. And when I upgraded, I bought another, and when I upgraded, two things happened. I also got another second-hand camera, but the camera actually was bought by Tim Ho, who uses only compact, but he bought it because it's a Micro Four Thirds, so he wanted to play with it. And so I think it really depends, right? I think if you want to get into it, it's not cheap, but there are many ways to make it a lot more affordable. And I think the skill is as important as the equipment. Yeah.
Likewise, like Cheryl, my setup is also second-hand. So I think it's just great if you take up photography for nature, or whether it's a document for the trips that you go on, because I have very bad memory. So if I don't document where I've been, I might actually forget in like 5 or 10 years time. So it's a great way to capture moments.
Prof, you want to add something?
Well, I started off with a very cheap Canon. I think it was a G10, and if you are really into if it's your passion, then you wouldn't mind to, I call it waste of money. You wouldn't mind to waste your money, and I actually took out my savings, my lifetime saving to actually upgrade. So I think it's worth it.
Okay, worth it. So which leads to the question I get asked a lot, because you invest quite a lot of money into photography, and they're like, what do I get back from it? Where's the return of investment, the ROI, right? So what do you get from it?
Well, for me, it's nothing commercial. Everything that I take, I just keep on social media, just within my friends group. The intrinsic value is really the memories, and every time I'm in the water, it's something new that I learn, a new skill that I learn, a new way to shoot certain things, different angles. So I'm still learning composition. It's still a journey. So that's what I get out of it, the pure joy of shooting.
I think for me is, I don't think my skill is up there yet to sell my pictures. So it's all about the memory, and to me is, whenever you get a nice picture, there will never be a second time you get the same thing again. So it's priceless to me. So I normally don't sell out my pictures.
I think for me, I think the act of photography makes you observe and wait and be very patient. Because if I don't think I don't think I'll wait for a subject to do all these things, like eat something else or lay egg or try to appear from this hole, if I didn't have my camera. So I think the camera allows me to somehow get in a different mode of like, you want the picture, but you also want it to be natural. So you have to wait, and it trains you that patience. So that's actually what I really like about it. And then I think the second is I really like all my friends to dive if they can, because it makes them more conscious of the world we live in, what we need to do to make sure that it's still around for the generations to come. So I think that chance is much higher if they dive, right? So I think my photos hopefully inspire people to try, to dive as well.
Yeah, very well said.
As for me, I find that my photos benefit me a lot during teaching in the university, and also in publication of books for the public. So I'm saying it's more like a coffee table book and not a technical book. So I've published 3 books on the marine environment. And a few more with a mix of, for example, my recent publication is on Raja Ampat Geopark. So it has a lot of chapters on the culture, the geology, and also, of course, marine underwater. So Raja Ampat is going for the UNESCO Global Geopark next year. So with that book, it would be a bonus for them to sort of like a giveaway or a gift to the assessors or to visitors. So I'm so lucky to collaborate with the Tourism Indonesia for that book project. So I suppose for me, I take photos more for my personal enjoyment, for my teaching, and for my publication.
Nice. If anybody is interested to get your book, can they purchase it somewhere?
Yeah, they are available in UKM Press, which is my publisher.
Book on Raja Ampat, guys.
I did a book on Sipadan and Raja Ampat and about the marine environment in general. But the marine environment book is a long time ago, and I got it translated to BM. So I think that's sold out already. So there are only the Sipadan book and the Raja Ampat book left. Thank you.
Wow, impressive. I was informed by some that they would like to ask some questions. So we'd like to open up to the stage, to the floor. Sorry, if anybody have any questions to ask. Okay. Yes?
I would like to ask Ms. Cheryl Goals, as a very successful person in the corporate world, how do you get your life balance between your hobby and also your work? Because I've been stalking you on your Instagram. You has been holiday at all times. So I was like, how do you do that?
So I think you as a, like a CCAM, sort of like, one of their prized photographer, and also you have a lot of following, and you won some photography competition last year, I believe. I think it's all about content syndication, so I think what you see on social doesn't mean that it's happening in real life. I do take lots of photos, and then I have a scheduled post that comes out. So yeah, I do work lah. Just in case my boss somehow gets a copy of this thing, I want to clarify that I do work. But I think it's actually for me, my job is fairly high stress, and actually every 3 months I kind of need a break. That break can come in many forms, and diving and photography is one of them, because it allows you to immediately disconnect. And for whatever reason, I think it's very obvious whenever I have a break, I come back very energized. So at least for me, I'm really lucky, because my boss, I've worked for him for 10 years. He realized that that's the way I kind of operate. I do need downtime. I need to take a break. I love being in nature. And so sometimes after sometimes he'll ask me, have you had a break lately? I'm like, no, not for 5 months. He's like, no wonder you're so moody. Can you take a break? So yeah, I think that's how I kind of manage it.
What a great boss, yeah? Does anyone else want to ask any questions? No? Anyone? No. So we just have that one. All right, so before we wrap things up, would you like to say anything to anyone out there who's an aspiring somebody who wants to start diving and maybe at some point start photography? Is there anything you would like to say to encourage them?
Yeah, maybe I can start. I would say, I think I've been diving not that long, but more than 10 years, right? And in that 10 years, you can see many things deteriorate. So I think maybe for anyone that's thinking about diving, I would do it soon. That's one, because it might not be in the same condition as, whenever. But also be mindful that you should try and contribute to maintain it and not be part of the problem, right? So I think just two things to anybody that's thinking about diving: do it because it's great, and it might not be in that condition. And once you do it, just try to contribute back and try to keep it the way it is, or help it get better.
That's a very good one, Cheryl.
I have to
Stacey?
agree with Cheryl, because every dive is not the same, even though you dive the same spot every day. So just be the one who contribute to the nature, not the trouble one, like you say, because actually we are doing a lot of reef. I don't call it reef repair. We call it reef planting in the island. So not only the divers, or I wouldn't say divers, I would say just human being will destroy the reef, and also sometimes it comes in a form of nature like storm. So I guess we need we need manpower to rebuild everything again. So I need people diving.
Yeah, Shireen, you want to add anything?
Not really. I was just watching out for my group of friends that are out there in front, and just want to ask them, hey, when's our next trip?
That's what people are here for, right? Midday, book a trip. Prof?
I'm lucky to be able to teach, so I target the students, and I always encourage them by showing my photos. And although maybe the lecture is on the marine environment in general, because I don't teach the marine program. I'm in the biology program, but I do teach environmental biology, and one of the lecture topics is on the marine environment. So even though it's just a 2-hour lecture, but I took that opportunity to show as many of my photos as possible, just to encourage the students who are not really students of marine program. But we at UKM, we offer open water, not just to the marine students, but also to every student who are interested. So I would, I would encourage them to, I would say that it's a different world that you should experience at least once in your lifetime. And if you don't like it, then you can stop. But I'm sure those who tried would, most of the students that I managed to persuade to go into diving, they continued in their pursuit of beauty and wonders in the water. So I do this every year, every time. New students come in, it will be the same thing all over again. So I'm glad also to contribute to public and public education and public awareness on the mangroves through my books. So I wish to do more of that in the future.
All right, thank you. So yeah, I agree with everyone. I think if you want to dive, start soon before everything deteriorates. We've seen it with our own eyes. And if you want to start underwater photography, make sure you work on your buoyancy first, right? That's important because we don't want to cause more damage to the reef. And also, underwater photography is very addictive, agree or not? Yeah, if you agree with me. And for those who shoot, always remember once in a while, get your head out of the camera, look out. I've seen people, they have mantas swimming above them and they don't notice anything. They're busy shooting nudibranchs. So it's okay to start photography, but once in a while, look up, enjoy the scenery. Thank you so much, ladies, for the forum today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure having you. So the Forum on Women in Diving is something that they hope to do annually. So this year's topic is photography. Next year onwards, there'll be different topics. So hopefully we'll see each other next year with whatever topic there is. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you.
Irritating.